I'm Tony Osborne, the site historian, and I'm going to tell you some details about Lord Austin's office.
I trust, however, that when next you buy a car, you will find it easy to decide which car you will buy. Having seen for yourselves how British cars are made and how motoring dependability is assured. Your Austin dealer awaits your call. He can equip you with means of enjoying the heritage of every Britisher, your heritage, a country unexcelled in beauty and a road system of unrivaled excellence.
Herbert Austin was born at Little Missenden in Buckinghamshire in 1866. After being educated in Yorkshire, he went out to Australia to serve an apprenticeship. After his apprenticeship, he was employed by Frederick Wolseley, who made sheep shearing machines, and Wolseley sent him back to Birmingham to the Wolseley factory here to improve the quality of components being sent out to Australia. It was whilst working for Wolseley that Austin had a dream to make motor cars. In 1895, Austin developed a three-wheeled motor car with some of his friends. This impressed the Wolseley board, and they funded the development of Wolseley motor cars. However, in 1905, Austin fell out with Vickers, the owners of Wolseley, and left the company. He set up the Austin Motor Company with some of his friends, and in November 1905, he was looking for a factory to manufacture motor cars when he came across the White and Pike printing works here at Longbridge. He moved into the factory and took this office to be his own, and it remained his office throughout the rest of his working life. Next to Austin's cloakroom door, we have a saying on the wall: "Most everything worthwhile is born of some dreamer's dream." Austin had a dream to make motor cars, and we know it was worthwhile. We're still doing it here today at Longbridge. By 1913, the Austin Motor Company was employing in the region of 2,000 people, making 1,500 pleasure and commercial vehicles a year. Then the First World War broke out. The factory expanded with the building of the West, North and extension of the South Works in order to accommodate production to help the country's war effort. Here at Longbridge we were manufacturing vehicles. For example, we made armoured cars for the Russian army and munitions. Shells here, we made 6.5 million 18-pounder shells. Above the mantelpiece we have an onyx ashtray, a souvenir from Brooklands, the world's first purpose-built motor racing circuit. At Brooklands, the Austin 7 team in the early 30s would be racing against MGs and Morgans. To the right of the fireplace and below the lights is a photograph of one of Austin's friends, Henry Ford. Henry Ford had a factory at Trafford Park in Manchester, where he was making motor cars between 1911 and 1927. When he came to visit his factory, he used to come and stay with Austin at Lickey Grange, Austin's house not far from here. If you look closely at the photograph, you'll notice that it's signed, and it says, "From your friend Henry Ford." Below the photograph is an early air conditioning unit, probably dating back to the 1930s. Whilst it looks like it's a wonderful piece of cabinet making, it is in fact painted on mild steel. It is possible that Austin saw this and saw a way of reducing the cost of his cars, where he changed the dashboards in the 1930s from wood to painted steel. Below the window we have a sculpture of Austin which was used to make a bronze bust, which you may have seen earlier. When the artist died, this sculpture was found in his house and returned to the company. On the wall behind Austin's desk there is a plaque commemorating the Austin Motor Company exhibiting its products at a motor show in Turin in 1911. In the wall is mounted a very significant coin to the Austin Motor Company. At the end of the First World War there were 20,000 people working here at Longbridge. As soon as the armistice was signed, all government contracts were cancelled. Austin rapidly put the Austin 20 followed by the Austin 12 motor cars into production. Sadly though, they didn't create enough cash flow to support the company. The receivers were appointed, and the day came when Austin had to make a decision whether he should carry on with production or close the company. The story has it that he took this coin, a half-crown, from his pocket and tossed it. Fortunately, it landed heads, and we're still here today. Finally, on the tour of Lord Austin's office, there's a thermometer and barometer on the wall, which were given to Austin by his senior staffs for Christmas in 1933. This shows how much they thought of him. Lord Austin died on the 23rd of May 1941 and is buried in Lickey Churchyard. The legacy of Herbert Austin to build motor cars here at Longbridge continues to this day as the MG Rover Group. MG Rover Group produces a variety of MG and Rover cars in small, medium and large car sectors, with MG also specialising in open-top sports and supercars too. We hope you've enjoyed this period of automotive reflection. Please take the time to study the artefacts in the archive room as you leave, and thank you for spending time with us here at Longbridge.